So remember back in 2007 where he got a fucking summary judgment from Acosta where they settled out of court. He only had to plead guilty to smaller charges than banging a bunch of fucking children. And also, let's not forget, while he was incarcerated, it was a fucking release program where 5 days a week he got to leave the jail and go home during the day to quote unquote work. Wasn't even full-time jail.
Wow.
Yeah. And how did he get a sweetheart deal like that? Prince Andrew lobbied U.S. government for Epstein. How did he get a sweetheart deal like that? And how many people right now are lobbying for Maxwell? That's the important question that this brings up. We've seen in the past that if somebody is in a high enough position of power and they tell the federal government to not follow the law and let somebody go, that they will goddamn do it, because here's where they did it, right here in this very same group of cases.
There's a precedent set.
There is a very unfortunate precedent set with this. This is not what I want to see happen to Ghislaine Maxwell. So
and you would think that anybody who's lobbying for that kind of a person is definitely in on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Why else would they be lobbying for these people?
Dude, I'm looking at the flight logs right now.
Yep.
There's some interesting names on here.
Yep, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. I am going to bring in the reins on that just a touch, but it's for an important reason, guys. Okay, so let's start getting into it, man, and talking about these names we're trying to get at, right? First things first, right off the bat, Bill Clinton visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island. Unsealed court documents suggest. Now, I want to get into something important right here, and I know this is tough. I know it's tough to hear, but I got to tell you guys, if you were on the plane, you're not necessarily guilty. If you knew the guy, you're not necessarily guilty. If you've been to the island, you're not necessarily guilty. Now, does it look very bad? Yes, it looks very fucking bad. But I can't go court of public opinion on this and say for sure I know what happened because somebody was on a fucking plane. Now, do I think a guy like Clinton is likely to be guilty here? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Am I willing to convict him without due process? No, I am not. No.
Everybody deserves due process, but
that's correct.
Did he do it? Probably.
I'm going to say probably. And so let's get some corroboration. The court documents suggest it, but what else do we got on him, huh? Epstein accused of Virginia Giuffre claims Bill Clinton stayed on private island with 2 young girls. Okay, now this is enough to implicate guilt. And see, that's the division I want to make here. Just being on the plane, I don't think is enough. Would I question all of those people? Yeah, definitely. But I don't think it's enough. Now, witness testimony that says you were there with 2 children? Yeah, absolutely. Haul him in. Bro, you need to haul this motherfucker in and debrief him immediately. I don't know why it takes us so long to do this shit. Daryl Lowe says, all I know is my gut says maybe. Okay, so who else are we talking about here when we're talking about this? Fact check, several celebrities are falsely linked to Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs. Yeah, so says the media. So take this with a big fat grain of salt. But they bring up people like Crissy Teigen, Ellen, Oprah, a lot of big name celebrities. And you remember what we had to say about Oprah earlier today, that supposedly are on that list and the media is now claiming are not. So here's supposed flight log clips where it says President Bill Clinton several times. I don't know who would write president on that line, especially if you know what you're going there to do. That seems really irresponsible, but we are talking about somebody who's potentially having sex with children. So responsibility may not be their forefront. Here's some more of them. All right, so there's a lot of goddamn names here.
That's what it is. Stop. Mm-hmm. Look up 3 from The Circle. 3 or 4.
3 up, Shelley
it says,
Lewis.
Up.
Shelley,
2 more.
Andrea, 2 females.
There is so many of that 2 females, 1 female, 1 male thing.
Yeah, some kind of anonymous, not necessary. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then it says 2 times pay, 3 times pay on some of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird coding in there for sure. A
lot of Dershowitz.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second.
I'm shitting all over this. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good, man. Now, what I will say about not implicating without due process, I'll tell you exactly why. This photograph right here. Your boy's been photographed with them, too. Is that enough to imply guilt? I don't think so. So I want to extend that same courtesy to everybody. I want everybody to get due process. Now, what I will say is
then again, Trump also did ban Epstein from all of his stuff.
I agree. There's good optics and bad optics, and a lot of people are making it look worse, and he made it look better on himself. I'll agree with you there. What I will say is that, you need some evidence to go to because due process is important, and it's more important than ever that we get the testimony from her. That's the most important part because we can clear a lot of this with witness testimony. That's where we need to go. Documentation is great too. Now, you could lie in testimony, you could forge documents. Yeah, nothing's 100%. We need to fucking find out the real answers here, man. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Somebody just being on a plane isn't enough, but we get some real information about any of these fucking people. Any of these people actually touching children. And we know that that's what happened. I don't give a shit how much I like your fucking movies. I don't give a shit how much I respect what you blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I don't care who it is, and I don't care what they've done in the past. If they are convicted of touching children, it's fucking over, dude.
Do you have any more screenshots of the logs?
No, I only grabbed those couple. I have not gotten time to go
I think I'm going to have to take a big shit on your day here, G.
Okay.
John Glenn is on here.
Who? You broke up, what?
John Glenn is on here.
No, that's no good. Well, hey, man, if it is, it is. Like I say, dude, I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. If it's found that you're touching children, it's done and fucking done, dude. You know?
Yeah. The whale was very clear.
I can't let it slide. So, like you said, Sinatra, and you're very correct, man. All this came out, and Trump goes, well, fuck this. He ain't allowed around my shit. And that is the right move. That is the right move there. Not everybody had such good optics in all this. Alan Dershowitz, as you may recall, has been Epstein's defense attorney through a lot of this. Alan Dershowitz demands apology for the Good Fight Jeffrey Epstein episode. Now, here's what happened. Some show, I've never seen the Good Fight, I don't know what it is. Some show, and they made some crack about Epstein and about Dershowitz on the show. And Alan Dershowitz, in his infinite fucking wisdom apparently, decided to sue. Are you kidding me? I don't know what else you could do to look more guilty than to suddenly assume that a comedy show can't make fun of a celebrity. That's part of the backbone of American media is making fun of celebrities. So for you to think that you're special and you get to sue, in my mind, that says that you always think you're special. And if you always think you're special, I think you're a lot more likely to do things that are illegal and immoral, like, guess what? Having sex with children.
Touching kids, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you ask me, this implicates Dershowitz. I think it does. I think he needs to be hauled in for fucking questioning too, especially because the lawyer got a lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the lawyer's lawyer
not
says.
Good.
Yeah.
Not good. Spectacular Wonder for 200 kills says the whale was very clear about this. No kids. Correct. Brutus says we were fighting the wrong enemy. Patton also correct. Your Corona says, do you really think any of this people with power will see a prison cell? No, they probably won't even see a courtroom. Well, maybe they'll see the business end of a noose then. Who knows? Colton Crow for 200 says Dershowitz can go fuck himself, and I'll agree with you on that. It does not look good. So guys, after all of this we've looked at here today, what is the truth? Well, we've touched on it, but it bears repeating and reiterating. These new documents show an even larger scope than we could have possibly imagined of people that were fucking implicated in this, and children, not adults who consented, children who were hurt by rich people who think they're above the fucking law. Remember at the beginning of the show we were talking about celebrities being nobody to fucking emulate because they're fuck-ups just like anybody else? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Just because this guy's got $10 billion fucking dollars doesn't make him worth a goddamn. And once you start touching children, in my mind, you are lower than fucking dirt.
Yep, you're a complete piece of shit. Yep.
So when it all comes out, when it's all said and done, whatever the names end up being, I don't give a shit how much I like your movies. I don't give a shit how important you are to the economy. I don't give a shit how big of a decision you're supposed to make on a daily basis when it comes to the American public. You're out there touching kids out there.
Ugh.
You deserve
the angriest of news, man.
You deserve the stiffest punishment that we can hand out. And you know me, I'm pro death penalty. Put him to the fucking chair, man. That's bullshit.
Fuck yeah.
And there it is, guys. That's the truth as I see it, and you can consider yourself fucking newsed.
Holy shit.
fucking news, guys.
Angry news tonight, man.
Well, I tried to go easy in the first half because I knew this was a little bit of a rough one. It's important. It's important that we talk about this, that in the recorded annals of history, there's a record of people that recognize the truth about situations like this. Because as we've seen recently, it doesn't take long for history books to get rewritten.
Or
Didn't we
thrown in
just
the
see
dumpster.
that this week?
Yeah.
Literally throwing away textbooks so that they can rewrite them and get new ones. Doesn't take long, guys. Doesn't take long.
I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium. Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for spying on women.